The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1.
Right.
My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments.
Right, that's what we're saying to our people today, man. Go back to remembering the ways of old. Remember his law. Keep his law to the best of your ability. Alright? And what it say? But let thine heart keep my commandments. Alright, your mind. Put your mind on the things above. Alright, go ahead.
For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee.
Right, length of days, long life, and peace shall they add unto you. What peace? Peace within this earth, peace between you and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, go ahead.
Let not mercy and truth forsake thee.
Right, man. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee, man. Because we're in the time of mercy. We're in the time of truth. Alright? And if you're operating against that, you're kicking against the pricks. You ain't doing nothing but hurting yourself, destroying your own self. Alright, go ahead.
Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart.
Right, man. So singe it in your mind. Let them be branded into your heart, into your mind, your spirit. Alright? Don't have your conscience branded with the symbol of wickedness, of sin. Go ahead.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and man.
Right, man. So by you pulling away from the bad foods, GMO foods, pork, anything that's contrary to the laws, these holidays, these idols, pulling away from all of that, that will make you at peace with Yahweh, man. And Yahweh will make you wise as the serpent, harmless as a dove, to be able to move around and be sharper than man. Go ahead.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Right, and that's what our people do. They lean unto their own understanding. They lean unto what their family taught them, their foreparents taught them, or their emotions. You know? All right, go ahead. It say what? Lean not unto their own understanding. You got to pray to the Father to make sure you don't fall into your own understanding or fall by your own understanding. You ask the Lord to lead you by his understanding. And through his understanding, he says, don't celebrate New Year's. Don't celebrate January. The New Year is around the month of Abib. That's what the Lord said, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
In all thy ways acknowledge him.
In all your ways. That's why he said, what type of person shall you be in all manner of conversation? So in all your ways, you acknowledge him. Even your celebrations, even your gatherings, your solemn feasts should be acknowledging Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. New Year's acknowledges Janus, which is a Greek deity. All right, go ahead.
And he shall direct thy paths.
Right. From that, once wisdom dwells with you, he'll direct you towards the kingdom. All right. All the way to 8.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and depart from evil.
Right. You can jump down to 31 after this. Right. So he's saying, don't be wise in your own eyes, man. So fear the Most High, man. Fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and depart from this damn evil, man. If you celebrate New Year, don't celebrate the next shit that's coming up. Whatever's coming up, that Easter bullshit, Ishtar, or Valentine's Day massacre. Don't celebrate none of that shit, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
Proverbs 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right. So the Lord said, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, man. By you following after the ways of the so-called white man and these heathens, then you're not finding your way. You're not finding your culture. You're not finding your creator. All right, your holy days. All right, go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 4:19?
Yeah, I think it was 18.
I'm going to start from 18. All right, this is Deuteronomy 4 and 18. It says, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
Yeah, where you at?
Deuteronomy 4 and 18.
Start from right here.
12?
Yeah.
All right, this is Deuteronomy 4 and 12. And the Lord spake unto you out of the midst of the fire, ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only ye heard a voice.
Right, this is when Yahushua came to visit Moses, you know, and out of the fire, out of the smoke, they heard the Lord's voice. All right, go ahead. And this is when he got the laws.
Verse 13, and he declared unto his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of a stone.
Right, man. But there's really, what, 613 or 612 commandments that we have to keep today to the best of our ability? All right, the law of sacrifice, we don't really have to keep that anymore. Yahushua is the ultimate sacrifice. But, what did he say? He said, what? Go ahead, brother.
And it says, and he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone.
Right, that was given to the children of Israel, man. Romans 9. That was given to the children of Israel, according to the flesh, according to the seed, not according to the look. You might look like a so-called white man or Chinese, but your bloodline goes back to the children of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Okay. So this is for you, man, if you feel this in your spirit. All right, go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I said the truth is in Hamashiach, and I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness, and the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach with my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
Right, so Paul wished that he can go through the things Yahushua went through for his people, you know, because he cared about them that much. All right, but he didn't need to because Yahushua was already crucified for us. That's why Paul said things like, yo, was I Paul crucified for you? I thank God that I haven't been. See that? Because people would have been trying to worship him. Go ahead.
It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption.
So the adoption, meaning being adopted back to the Father, being able to be what? At peace with the Father? That's only given to the children of Israel. The children of what? The city of peace. Yerushalayim. All right, go ahead.
And the glory.
And the glory, which is what? The kingdom. You know, being glorified someday. Being with increase. That's only promised to be given to the children of Israel. Go ahead.
And the covenant.
The covenant, the first and the second covenant. All right, the first covenant given with the laws. The second covenant where he promised to write the laws in our inward parts. When he shows up. Go ahead.
And the giving of the law.
And the giving of the law, which was who? When Moses. All right, when Moses gave the law, who did he give it to? The children of Israel.
And the service of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and the promise.
Right, and the service. Right, the service represents what? Doing this work. Going into the altar. Making sacrifice and prayers, right? And what was the last one?
It says, and the promise.
And the promise. The promise represents the promise of given to Abraham. The promise of faith. And that's only intended for the children of Israel, man. Go ahead, brother.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 14.
Yep.
And it says, and the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments.
Right, so today we move in the spirit of Moses, Mashah, which means to be drawn out of the waters. And we're drawn out from the waters, which means to be what? An apostle. Apostle means to be called out from the world or sent out. All right? All right, go ahead, brother.
That ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it.
That's right, man. Go ahead. When they came out of Egypt, you know, go ahead, going into Canaan.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua spake unto you in Horeb.
Right, he just spoke to him. He didn't really show him no prophecies or anything. Go ahead.
Out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure.
Right. So nobody should be making anything at that time because nobody saw Yahushua yet. All right. All they heard was a voice and they seen an image of a man, and that was it. And every time the Lord would come down and visit Abraham, he'd come down in spirit. Every time somebody would ask his name, he said, it's not meant for you to know my name yet. But then when he was born from Mary and Joseph, that's when everybody knew what he looked like. Alright? And according to Revelations, the vision was given to who? John the Baptist. John the Revelator. Alright? So before that, nobody should have been making any images. Shouldn't make no images anyway. But we have like a depiction here, like they try to say we wrong for making these images. That's what I got you. Go on. Right? But we don't worship it. You can make images of lions or eagles and put them in your crib. But are you supposed to worship it? No. Alright? Go ahead, brother.
Alright. Verse 16. Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
Right, man. Likeness of male or female, you damn Egyptologist.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl.
Right, that's all you damn Babylonians, you Americans, you Egyptologists that worship that sphinx and shit and the dog head and all that crazy madness, man. Africans. And 2/3 of our people are falling under that, man. You know?
Who you recently did a video on talking about they were saying the woman is God or the side nigga.
Side nigga and Brother No Light. Yeah, and nature demon. Natural demon. They call it nature boy. Go ahead.
Verse 18. The likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
Right, the Lord saying he don't look like none of that shit. You ain't even see me, what the fuck you making images for? That's what he's saying, man. Alright? Okay. Go ahead, go for more.
Verse 19. And lest thou lift up thine eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them.
Right, that's the point. Real quick. Let me get the point. That's the point. I don't know if this one's over here. Right, get the point again?
All right.
Last verse.
It says, unless thou lift up thy eyes into heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them.
Right, man. So, and that's what our people are driven to do today, man. They worship in the sun, moon, and stars through all different type of titles that have been given over time through different ages. All right, with the worship of the so-called New Year's and the time period that y'all worshiping it, honoring it with winter, going from December. With the word December means what? A decimal. What's a decimal? What it represent?
Period.
What it represent?
A period.
It represents 10.
10. Oh, like.
Right? But they got December as the 12th month.
Oh, done. Yeah. Prefix deck means 10.
Right. You see that? They playing everybody.
Even with November, that just translates. Even with November, that translates back to 9.
Con, October, the 8th month. The prefix Oct.
Right, because they were originally what they were until you had Julius Caesar who changed everything and added January after December to pay, because they came up with this in 45 BC. All right, matter of fact, I'm going to get there right now. Let me go ahead and read it. All right? And since it happened in January, they paid commemoration to the idol or deity named Janus. It says 45 BC, New Year's Day. In 45 BC, New Year's Day is celebrated on January 1st for the first time in history as the Julian calendar takes effect. Soon after becoming Roman dictator, Julius Caesar decided that the traditional Roman calendar was in dire need of reform. So they already had a Roman calendar that they put in place of the Hebrew calendar too. So they were double fucked with a wrong calendar. Alright? It says, introduced around the 7th century, so it'd be 700 BC, and Rome was really kicked off around 600 BC. Alright? So they try to get the calendar created back then when they, changed times and laws. Let me know when y'all get it. It says, introduced around the 7th century BC, the Roman calendar attempted to follow the lunar cycle. Alright? So the lunar cycle represents what? The moon cycle. But they still had it wrong. They had their own version of the moon cycle. Alright, if you look it up, they were still off. Alright, and they even going back to the Persian calendar. You know? That was off too, the Persian calendar. Now it says, you got scripture? Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Right, that's Esau speaking great words against the Lord, man.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Right, that's Rome. If you read Daniel chapter 7 and Revelations 11. You know, they wore out the children of Israel in Rome. Go ahead.
And think to change times and laws.
A little louder, catch that again.
It says, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and dividing of time.
Right, man. So they sought to change times and laws, man. And times represent what? Seasons. Alright? And also holy days. You know, they sought to change all of that. Alright, so I'm going to keep reading. It says, but frequently fell out. It says, the Roman calendar attempted to follow the lunar cycle, but frequently fell out of phase with the seasons. So they were fucking up. Alright, they fell out of phase with the proper seasons. They were messing up. And had to be corrected. In addition, the pontifex, the Roman body charged with overseeing the calendar, often abused its authority by adding days to extend political terms or interfere with elections. See that shit, man?
That's some petty ass shit.
Alright? And that's all I'm gonna read, man. Basically, because there's a lot of meat, and I don't want to keep reading. So I'm going to go into it when I get home, talking about Julius Caesar. So he came up with that shit as a political reason. Alright, and paying homage to his demon or deity that they were worshiping in Greece at that time, named Janus. Alright? Go ahead, brother. You got that Janus?
This is Wikipedia of Janus. It says, in ancient Roman religion and myth, Janus pronounced is the god of beginning, gate, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, and ending.
Right. Right.
It says he is usually depicted as having two faces.
Right on time.
Since he looks to the future and to the past.
And that's all you idiots that's all over social media talking about them, man. This is gonna be a new year for me.
New year, new me.
New year, new me. Ain't that what they say?
Still doing
New year, new me, man. I'm nothing but positive. If you ain't positive, don't call my phone. Go ahead, brother.
and they still doing the same thing, man.
They might change their ways at work. They might treat their woman better, but they're not treating Yahweh Bashim El-Shai any better at all.
Or they might change their way for like about a week or so, and then keep doing about the
back to
same
the bullshit.
They may even last a month, depending on their willpower.
Yeah, they might last a month, right? Depending on their willpower. Right?
Or they might last the whole year, but if they're not according to the will of Yahweh Bashim El-Shai, it's still wickedness.
Yeah, they can last their whole life.
Dang.
You know, calling themselves a good person, but they you know, what the world calls good is not good at all.
And if I may add on, they want to change for the fact of a transition of a new year, which for most is not a new year. All right, you want to change, because it's a transition of times, all right. But overall, we transitioning into a whole new time, all right. We're going to come into this restitution, all right. The righteous government of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. But yet nobody's not trying to take heed to that and change for that, all right. You know what I'm saying? That's changing for the best, for the better, man.
Right, man.
All right, because if you're not changing for that, all right, you have no need to change at all. Why? Because if you're not changing for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, then you gonna be destroyed. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Why? Because if you're not doing the things that are pleasing to Him, all right, cutting off that old man and putting on the new, that's the utmost change that we should make as a whole, man. As the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Right. Right, bro.
You want to bring it up? Alright, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 43. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, great is the Lord, Yahweh Shah, that made it, and at his commandment it runneth hastily. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world.
Right, so the Lord set the lunar calendar for the moon up to set up the calendar dealing with days, man. Not the sun. You know? The solar calendar dealing with your damn deity named Solus. You know, the Lord set up the lunar calendar to where we follow the moon in its perfect phases, man. And what it lets us know to what? Keep our holy days that we've been taught coming out of Egypt, coming out of the iron furnace. We ain't finished that one either, did we? You talking about scripture here earlier? Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
All right. It says, he made the moon also, verse 7, from the moon is the sign of feast.
Right.
A light that...
Yeah, from the moon is the sign of Sabbath. The moon is the sign of our feast, dealing with the what? The Passover. You know, not no damn New Year. And if you want to say that's the sign, the new moon, there wasn't a new moon last night. On January 1st, we got one coming up on the 5th. January 5th. 3 minutes? Okay. And then still, in springtime, that's the new year. The new moon of that, after the spring equinox. When you see all the fucking ducks and birds and everybody, all the damn animals walking around with little babies and shit. And the flowers blooming and all that, man. It's right in front of your goddamn face. And, you know, go ahead.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
Right, waxing, waning, crescent moon, new moon, full moon. Alright?
The month is called after her name.
Right, the month. You cannot have the beginning of a week without a day. You cannot have a day without the beginning of a month. So without a new moon, you can't even have a day or a goddamn week. See that? That's where you get your Sabbath. Alright? And the moon shows in so many signs, man. It changes in color. You have a blue moon, a red moon. Right? And the reason it's red is because of the only light that bends from the sun rays would be red. And that's the one that bends around the earth, creating that red hue on the moon. Alright? Go ahead.
The month is called...
All you people that don't believe in prisms.
The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing.
Right, the Lord created a beautiful calendar up there, man, for us to monitor our days off of, man. That's just it. It's a tool. Go ahead, keep going.
It says, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven.
It's an instrument. That's just it. You know, you ain't gonna grab your trumpet and start worshiping because it make a sound. You know? So it's an instrument of the Creator, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, of the armies above, the host of heaven. Alright? That's it? Can I get Exodus 13:1? 13:4?
When you jump to Genesis?
Huh? Go ahead, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, no, dealing with the
Signs.
No. 13:4? Yeah.
Alright, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 13, verse 4.
13:3.
Verse 3. And Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. For by strength of the hand the Lord brought you out from this place.
We never finished, did we?
There shall no leavened bread be eaten.
That's what I was looking for.
This day came ye out in the month of Abib,